Going in. All right, welcome to the Contrarian Hour, and this is
Damn,
what's
the
looking
boys
to
are
be.
back.
Yeah, from what I'm looking at here is an experimental, some would say avant-garde episode with some
Yeah,
Tyson
this episode,
subjects.
I've somehow managed to turn my brain waves to the lowest frequency possible. So you just expect like nothing but just slop for this episode.
which
By
is
the way,
which is
guys.
easy for you to do, and it's a risk that you take because at some point you're going to tune it down so low you won't be able to come back from it. You'll just be stuck in that state, like the orb of confusion on SpongeBob, where you flick it and they're just go.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm going to jump right into it here because there's one that's sticking out to me because I hate this place and I love fast food. So when you brought it up, I had to hear what you wanted to say about it. So the subject here is Taco Bell. What is going on at Taco Bell these days? What are you trying to get
So
out of
you
your
know me, I
system?
was in the lab, right? And I was thinking of cool scenarios, and I'm like, dude, what if someone just it'd be pretty funny if someone just committed suicide at Taco Bell. You know, and this is not like an advocating for committing suicide. But
Oh, I
it's
thought you were
like,
going to say an advertisement.
no. But it's
It's
like,
not an advertisement.
but this thought just popped up in my head. Is like, what if someone just walked up to the counter? And is like, yeah, can I get the steakhouse burrito? And the guy's like, oh no, we don't serve it this time of year. And the guy's like, just blam, just blows his fucking brains out after the no steakhouse.
Not because of anything to do with his life, but because
Yeah, just
because
blow
he
your brains
doesn't
out of
have
like
that
fucking
talk.
like just like really minor situations.
So when you said something about suicide at Taco Bell, I thought you meant that there was something existentially bad about being in there that was making you depressed. I thought
No.
that's what you were getting at.
No, but I also came up with this other scenario. Like, what if you? It's like you're at the Q&A section for a presidential debate, and you ask like some lame ass question, like, Mr. Biden, what exactly are you gonna do about the agriculture irrigation bill? And he gives like some fucking lame answer, and you're just like, oh, I see. Blam! He just bully breaks out. Fucking... If you had to, what other cool situations could you imagine doing that?
This isn't my area of commentary, so I'll let this one go. But I did hear recently that Taco Bell had something worth killing yourself over, which was their Cheez-It Crunch. And someone we know reviewed it and said that the Cheez-It in there gets soggy immediately. So there's no crunch to it. If I knew I was going to Taco Bell and I was getting a giant Cheez-It and it turned out to be soggy, I probably have to consult some options, some permanent solutions to that temporary problem. So yeah, because they used to have Volcano Tacos there, and then I went there and I was like, oh yeah, do you guys have Volcano Tacos? Because I was there with a group of people that do like going to Taco Bell, and I'm not a fan of it. And I'm like, I haven't been here in 10 years. I'm like, oh, do you guys have Volcano Tacos? And they're like, no, what are you talking about? They're laughing at me. I thought that was a mainstay item, but I think that one's coming back on the menu at some point. I'm not sure, but
What are they laughing at? It's like, am I supposed to be up to date with like what Taco Bell has?
that is what it was like. That is what it felt like, honestly. So
Am I supposed to like be subscribed to the Taco Bell like update alert system or something?
What if those guys that were losing that were about to be, and I like making fun of them in this situation because I think they're idiots. I think people who have an interest in the deep sea are stupid. I don't think it's an interesting
disagree.
subject. I think, okay, that's fine. They're your best friends. But when they got decompressed and flattened by that submarine, so imagine someone's having so much anxiety in there while in the submarine. It's like, all right, it's going to happen in 30 seconds. And he's like, oh, I can't take the waiting anymore. And then just shoots himself there.
Yeah.
There we go. That would be a situation. And they all look around. They're like, all right, we're about to die in 30 seconds anyways. He couldn't wait 30 seconds. He's so nervous about it. He just killed himself there. So, but I'm fine making fun of those people because that's just so stupid. Why would you put yourself in that situation? At least if you're going to put in that kind of effort, go into space. Everything in the deep sea are just a bunch of brains with weird wisps of seaweed all over them and these ugly fish. There's nothing interesting down there. And there's nothing interesting in space either. So,
but the pressure down there is so great that you're going to have the greatest fucking adrenaline rush of your life. going down that deep.
See, that whole, what is it? The cliff of the Marianas Trench and all this. Oh, when you're down there, there's this great pressure. How's that? That's not interesting to me. Why would I like that? Why would I
You're
want to
telling me you
explore
wouldn't have
that
your
further?
fucking heart beating at 140 beats per second if you're down there?
Yeah, I would be
Yeah.
concerned. I wouldn't think, oh wow, this is just such a majesty of God's creation that I'm in this pressurized cabin at the bottom. No, I'd be like, what am I
No,
doing
I
down
mean,
here? This is so
it's just
stupid. You
fucking
get this
cool.
little
Like,
window. Yeah, because you like all that stupid Avatar James Cameron garbage. It's just so boring. This is like lame. Like I like the ocean. I like the beach, but deep sea stuff, there's nothing down. And what do you
no.
do? Find gross squids? Weird, ugly anglefish with little lights on their
this is
faces.
the difference in our philosophy, right? Imagine there's a mythical like abyssal hole. You would say, well, what's even the point of this fucking hole? Let's just leave it and never touch it. I want to know what's inside that fucking hole. I want to see what's down at the bottom of that.
I would like to know what's in that hole in space. Okay, because we have to pretend that black holes exist when they don't, or dark matter. Like that would be interesting, to figure that out. And there's some unanswered question there. And in the ocean, it's like, oh, here's some hole that's deep down in the ocean, like the blip, for instance. Ooh, someone heard something really loud. It's Lake Cthulhu or Cthulhu or just something stupid like that. It's like, who cares? It came from the ocean. And it's like when you found some hole,
What are you talking
it'll
about?
actually lead to further rocks at the bottom. You don't know what the blip is?
The blip came from space, not the ocean.
No, there's an ocean one too.
Wasn't that just proven to be like whales or something?
Exactly. So not even that's interesting. Not even one of the ocean's greatest mysteries is interesting either. So who cares? It's just like, what's the point of that? But it is interesting, that guy who got in a plane and drove and like rode his biplane to the center of the earth, or tried to, through Antarctica, and did a full report on it. So, and he found people in the center of the earth. So that might be something to look into. Okay, maybe he killed himself after that. He couldn't handle that.
Oh, he went to Taco Bell straight afterwards.
He went to Taco Bell and couldn't. Honestly, you want to talk about places that give me anxiety. When I go to Taco Bell, I have no idea what's going on in that menu. You got your 2 gorditas. What are the sides? What is this? The sour cream, the fire. There's too much. There's too much that needs to go into a simple fast food order, as opposed to McDonald's double quarter pounder meal. Thanks.
I was under the impression that Taco Bell, for $10, you could buy enough food to like feed the whole family. But when Taco Bell first opened up in New Zealand, like a few years ago, it's fucking shit. It's expensive. Like where it's like this value store that I keep hearing about. It didn't even exist. It's annoying.
Well, I mean, that might be just New Zealand inflation or the exchange rates there. But Taco Bell's average to slightly inexpensive. At that point, you would just get normal Mexican food from a real place. Doesn't make a difference. But I don't even consider Taco Bell Mexican food. It doesn't taste like it. It doesn't look like it in a lot of cases. So I don't know. There's nothing really there for me. But it's a shame that I would like to get just the giant Cheez-It there and try that out for novelty reasons. So
would you eat like those giant cheese wheels? Would they make the pasta inside it?
I heard about a place near me that does that. I would certainly do that because I
don't understand
guy.
how those things work. Like, wouldn't the pasta sauce like drip into the cheese?
That sounds
and,
good.
like, make it...
Keep going. I'm close.
Okay, but what about the next guy? You just got to eat like some guy's like crusty fucking like sauce inside the cheese. Like, I don't want that.
Pasta secretions in your cheese.
It's like you gotta just like peel off like fucking dried like pasta sauce over the fucking cheese. Like, damn.
I think that's in the spirit and nature of cheese, though. Because isn't blue cheese at the end of the day moldy cheese? I saw some blue cheese when I was at Whole Foods that just looked like mold, basically. And I was in heaven because I was about to say I love mold. I guess I do. I love blue cheese. I had a burger the other day. It looked like it had an ice cream scoop of blue cheese on it. It was so good. I never get sick of that.
When I was a kid, I used to love this cheese snack that my mom would give me. And funny enough, it was called Philadelphia cheese. You know what I'm talking about?
Philadelphia cheese experiment. You're sure you're not talking about Philadelphia cream cheese? It's a popular cream cheese.
There was a fucking cow on the front cover of the packaging. and I remember it said
Mm.
Philadelphia cheese. So that shit was good, man. I remember eating that when I was like in Singapore.
Yeah, you might be making that up without knowing it, but I'll have to do some further research there. So,
Mm.
yeah, that's not bad. So, anything
Uh,
else to add to your scenarios there,
real
or
quick, like imagine just like blowing your brains out, but like not even at a presidential candidate event, just like a shitty event with like one of the lowest ranked candidates. Like imagine just doing it at a town hall event with Evan McMuffin or something.
what if that event where Bud Dwyer, that infamous picture where he shoots himself live on TV, was that even a big event? It's like, no, I'm
No.
gonna do it. Stand back. Like people weren't paying attention before he did it. And he's like, I'm really gonna do it. And they're all like, okay, go ahead, you know. And he's like, no, I'm gonna really do it. And then he just like, then he does it, obviously. And it's everyone's like, all right, well, this got interesting,
No,
but
you know that video when he whips out the gun, he's like, no, guys, I have to do this, and then like no one's in the crowd is protesting that. They're like, oh no, don't do that.
why are there tons of pictures from multiple angles and he's holding his hand back saying that, oh, I'm gonna, and you know, it's so funny. I don't know if there used to be some sort of Bushido samurai code embedded into old business and politics, because what he did wasn't even bad. He was embezzling money somehow and was maybe going to go to prison for something
Dude,
that's
he
really
would have got charged for like
inconsequential.
4 years. 4 years and you're good. What?
Yeah, but apparently, you know, his reputation would be permanently damaged from that. What? None of our politicians are doing that to themselves these days, and they're doing far worse than that. So he was way ahead of it. He's like, oh man, this is terrible. No one's ever been in the hole this badly before, and kills himself. And it's like, what? Just hang out for 20, 30 more years. People will be doing far worse. Now, these days, you can just go to prison, and if you're a politician and you have a victim and you commit a victimless crime, at some point, a president on your side of the aisle is going to get into office and probably pardon you. I mean, that's what Trump did with that Russian guy, Bergerschlav or whatever, with the hair. He pardoned him. He pardoned a random Jewish real estate magnate. Well, that's a redundant statement. He pardoned a Jewish guy. And yeah, he just pardoned random people that did business crimes. So why kill yourself at that
That's
point?
That's what brings me to my other point. It's like I don't understand these people who kill themselves when they're being cyberbullied in modern day. Like for example, I remember some story of some clip of this kid where he does something cringe and then it goes viral and then he blows his brains out. It's like, man, you know, if you just waited for like 2 weeks, the entire internet would be talking about something else, right? Like no one would even remember you.
Yeah, but kids are impressionable and they feel like what happens to them at that time in their life is permanent. So I understand that.
Even something that popped off as hard as the Bagel Boss video of this guy like freaking out at a Dunkin' Donuts. No one's talking about Bagel Boss now. He didn't have to blow his brains out.
Well, most of the time you can make a career out of it. And even when you do something super embarrassing, let's just say you're shouting the N-word on video or you're like making some like edgy proclamation, then someone will pick you up on, I don't know, the dissident right or something, and then you'll just get thrown into the spotlight there and be able to make a living off of that. It's like a what are they, like a Plinko board. You just fall down and you'll end up somewhere if you garner some type of popularity like that, especially negative popularity on the internet. You know, you're just reminding me of that stupid video, that Numa guy. I hate that dude. He looks like an idiot. Like people should have made fun of him for that.
Here's my question.
People got to think he was funny for that. He looks like a fucking idiot. He looks stupid.
How do you feel about the Star Wars kid? You remember the one of the earliest memes?
That is legendary. That's an all-timer. But people did make fun of him. People definitely made fun of him for being fat and doing ridiculous Darth Maul maneuvers. So, and we're still laughing about it to this day. Who's sitting around going, oh my, like that makes me smile a little bit thinking of the fat Star Wars guy to this day being really excited about episode 1 and doing that Darth Maul flip where he jumps and his body is parallel with the ground before he lands again. And that's impressive for a fat guy to do. Who to this day is like, oh my God, that Numa guy was so funny. Who was cracking up laughing over that? He just looks like an idiot.
We're doing that
right
now.
Not me. Never me. Even when I was young, I never laughed at that in my entire life. So the 2 kids dancing to Crazy Frog. There you go. That's funny.
Uh-huh.
And they went with it too, and that's pretty embarrassing. So that's a good one. But it's the Numa Numa guy rubs off on me.
You know what's funny? When I went to elementary school, everyone thought I was like this kid from like a viral video, but I had no idea what this video was. Like it was my first year of elementary school, and then they're like, some kid was like, "Hey, are you that kid from the Kentucky Fried Chicken video?" And I'm like, "What fucking video?" But I went along with it, and I'm like, "Yeah." Then everyone just thought I was that kid. Like, yeah, but I have no idea to this day what that fucking video is.
Did you look it up?
No, I could never find it. Like, apparently,
did you dream it? The KFC kid?
No. Apparently, it's just some kid saying like Kentucky Fried Chicken over and over again. Like, okay.
I wonder what the kid looks like. I could say something rude right now, but I'll hold my tongue on it. The other reason why kids do what they do, or they're very impressed by what happens to them online, sometimes to the point of suicide, is, have you ever heard of, I think it's called blue whale, and it might just be an internet urban myth. No, not that. That is another. That is not a myth. That one's very real. I only saw that for a split second, such a split second. I can't even remember what it looks like. So that was a long
dude. Imagine
time
you pull down the girl's pants. You just see that, make a beeline straight to Taco Bell, dude. After that,
no, I think it would look like Taco Bell. It would look a lot like Taco Bell if I saw that. But blue whale is this. I think it. This is a really paraphrased version of it, and it may not even exist, but when you can somehow enlist yourself into some scheme where the person says that by the end of the boot camp or the program of blue whale, they can get you to kill yourself. So you have to submit to everything they do. It's some kind of weird domination like internet game that they play, and supposedly kids have died from it. But what you do is you send them incriminating pictures of yourself, and they say, we'll unless you participate in this game, then we're going to send these pictures of you nude to all your friends, and you're going to let your parents that you're doing this and that. And it apparently has resulted in a lot of deaths, but that's an exaggerated version of really blackmailing online, where a lot of times someone gets a hold of naked pictures of you. You're an X-year-old girl, let's just say underage, and you hook up with a guy in your grade. You send him pictures. He redistributes those pictures, as guys do. And yeah, they can't cope with it, and they end up committing suicide. So
did you guys in your high school ever know anyone that had that happen to them? Because there was this one guy that I was friends with in high school, and apparently he was like cybering with this other girl from another country, and she convinced him to jerk off on camera, and then she screenshotted that, and then she's like, "If you don't pay me $500 now, I'm going to send that to all your family and friends."
That's amazing. Did he pay up?
Oh yeah, he paid up.
Did
he had to sell his fucking motorcycle to pay up as well.
What an embarrassing reason to have to sell your motorcycle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just got sick of riding. They're dangerous. I got sick of it.
It was brand new as well. So I imagine the conversation at the shop is like, "Yeah, just getting old," and the guy's like, "It's brand new." So what?
Yeah, it's just not for me. So yeah. Especially at that age, I don't want to say the age at which a woman wants to see a guy jerk off, if such an age exists. Honestly, I think it's something that 45-plus-year-old women who have, been a bit more sexually experienced want to see. But there's no chance at that age, girls are saying, "Yeah, I definitely want to see you jerk off." Like they don't want to see that. They don't want to see that. He should have known that from the start.
Let's enter this hypothetical. Let's say for whatever reason, somehow some scammer obtains a video of you jerking off and threatens to send it to all your family and friends if you don't pay up like $5,000, like, and you're this age right now. Would you pay up?
I don't. For some reason, my initial reaction is no, because it's not embarrassing.
Yeah, honestly, what would someone say? Like, "Oh, you're a 30-year-old man and you jerked off? What the fuck?" Like, okay,
yeah,
you told me you don't do that as well.
Take a look, little bro. See what's good. I look good. I look good smashing that thing, hitting that like button, so to say. So whatever. What do you want me to do about that? And it's just like, oh, son, I can't believe you masturbate in the privacy of your own home. What are you talking about? Sorry, Dad. Like what?
Yeah, your dad calls you up like, this is disgusting. I want you out of the house. He's like, Dad, I moved out like 10 years ago. So.
Well, I would have wanted you out of the house if I saw that you were doing that. No, I no, and what if my office gets it and sees that I'm sick? Whatever, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Yeah, but I say that
I wouldn't
now.
pay up either.
We'll see what happens if it came down to it. Well, yeah, no, I'm about with you there. So that is a good hypothetical though. Better than a lot of other hypotheticals we've gone through. Like how much would you have to get paid to, engage in fellatio with another guy, that kind of thing.
Honestly, I'm trying to weigh the options. If it was a video versus if I had to choose between getting a video
a candid picture where you were like giving the peace sign with your hand on your dick.
No. If I had to choose between a video of me jerking off like regular and then versus a video of me listening to the vampire ASMRs, I would just choose the jerk off, dude. Like, that's less embarrassing, honestly.
It crosses my mind probably once every 6 months, that scene from The Sopranos where Tony sees his son at the computer screen and his son's sitting there at the computer screen laughing and just looking generally annoying. And Tony's just shaking his head and thinking about what a pussy his son is. Sometimes when I'm at the computer, I think about that scene. If I'm sitting at my computer, I laugh at something. I look like AJ looking like a pussy right now. Like, someone would be so disappointed if they saw that. You're just like laughing about, it's probably some anime girl on your screen. Like, come on now, whatever.
Dude, remember that fucking like legendary tweet that keeps getting brought up on Twitter every once in a while? It's like this guy who says like, what did he say? He's like, my parents are raising like the most retarded little brother ever. He's watching like the most shit on YouTube. Peter Griffin versus Jigglypuff. What kind of shit is that? You know what I'm talking about?
I didn't see that one. You'll have to pass that one along. So, but all right. Well, I'm not sure what direction that one went in, but I think we should keep rolling with it. So, speaking of, let's just say online presences that you may or may not consent to. I'm seeing TikTok is one you're thinking about. So what are you trying to say about that?
Dude, this is like this is horrifying actually. I went to a restaurant a few days ago.
Yeah, big surprise.
Dude, I wrote up like a whole fucking research document on like the shit that I saw at this restaurant. It honestly, I know I use the term Lovecraftian a lot, but I truly had to like rack my brain to decipher like what the fuck it was I was actually watching. So I went to a family restaurant for lunch, and there was this 10-year-old kid playing, I think, Roblox on the table in front of me, just max volume, no fucks given, right? Legend. And I wasn't really annoyed because I was just like trying to decipher what the fuck I was watching the entire time because nothing made sense. So I'm gonna just relay what I saw on the screen. So this kid's character is like a Lego figure, and he's in a room with other Lego figures, which I assume are other people. And
what was he playing it on?
His iPad. And while they were in this room, this fucking like loud elevator music theme song was playing, right?
That's awesome.
And the entire time they were walking in circles, and on the side of the screen there were like these buttons. And the kid would just continuously press these buttons, and every single time you would press one of these buttons, like one of these like meme clip sounds would play, and the clip sounds were like sped up. So some of these sounds were like remember the meme of like the black guy going like, oh hell no, like like that.
Sure.
Some guy saying like skibbity toilet, the Katy Perry meme, which is like,
I hate that one.
Like they ask you how you are and you have to say you're fine, but you're not really fine. So you just like this kid
was doing that over and over.
He's just spamming that, and it's like, picture all of that simultaneously. He's going in a circle with elevator music playing with other people, just spamming like these memes sounds for like 30 minutes straight. This is like the first time I felt like an old boomer, because the entire time I had no idea what the fuck I was seeing. Like, how is that fun? just fucking bizarre, dude. And you know,
I,
I think I was trying to tie this to like the attention span of the average person, because I think since the Industrial Revolution, the attention span of the average person has been decreasing every single generation. And I think we've been able to disguise it for a while as, well, your parents said that the same thing about your generation too. And it's like, well, yeah, because so far every generation has been able to decrease the attention span of their activities. You know, in the
mm,
80s, with the popularization of cable TV, you could flip between hundreds of channels instead of watching like one or two channels. In the 90s and 2000s, you had video games and the internet, and you can like seamlessly switch between them if you got bored. And then like in the 2020s, with the emergence of TikTok, I feel like this is the actual like bottom of the barrel. Like I don't
no,
see
it can get worse. It can
I don't
definitely get
see
worse.
how you can decrease your attention span any more than fucking the invention of the TikTok automated video feed. Like how could a person pay even less attention than that? You know, it's like a
Doing it
stream
on a
of infinite content. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're reaching some sort of event horizon on the focus capabilities of the average human being, what you're describing. And that has to do with monetization. When you find out that you can capture money from someone's attention for 7 seconds, and that might be more valuable than trying to capture it for an hour, maybe through some sort of quality entertainment, which one do you think you're going to focus more on? And when those same concepts are consolidated across 10 to 20 major worldwide corporations, then it's only going to hone in on that one procedure that works best for them. And you're
Yep.
just seeing this repeated over and over until it snowballs to this point where, yeah, we're not really able to focus or pay attention anymore. I remember I thought it was an interesting article that, I mean, it must have been 10 years ago now at this point, is that the biggest competition that was going on for advertisers and app makers and media conglomerates in general is the second screen. How can you get someone's attention on the second screen? So when you sit down at the end of the
Mm.
day, no one sits down at the end of the day and turns on their TV and watches their TV. What they do is they say, ooh, and I do this. I'm guilty of this. I try and throw my Kindle in there, but when I'm not trying to be studious, I'll do it with the phone, which is more often than when I do it with the Kindle. I settle in to go grind out Twitter on my phone while I have something on TV.
Same.
Everyone does this.
Literally same.
This is
Except
what
it's my
life's
PC and like
all
some
about.
background videos playing as well.
Oh, well, yeah, well, I'm talking about normal people. We take it to the next level. We got our two monitors. We got our dumbass friend on Discord playing some game. We got something else on our TV. We got our phone. We're like, it's like a shitty bat cave. It's pathetic, is what it is. But I love every second of it. So I guess I'm not going to call it like a panacea or an antidote to it, but my way of staving that off is you have to read. You have to, because it's the only thing left that you can truly do and enjoy, where you're helping your mind and you're also focusing on only one thing. Because if you're not doing that, you have you can't scroll your phone and read a book at the same time. Okay, you can't watch your friend on Discord and read a book at the same time. You have to pay attention to that, because everything else really doesn't translate into anything meaningful. If I'm watching TV, what's the difference between me watching TV and scrolling on my phone at the same time while watching TV? Nothing. You're just inhaling garbage. You're still just, oh no, but this Desperate Housewives episode, you have to pay attention to this. No, I don't. I can go on Twitter on my phone. I'm sick while this thing is going on in the background. I'm awesome. What's the problem here? So
Dude,
I'm fine with that.
I think in 20 years, we're going to recognize that the invention of the TikTok style video feed is one of the most transformative pieces of technology in human history. Like, think about
Vine
how
really is what you're saying. So Vine,
TikTok kind of perfected it.
Yeah.
But think about like how groundbreaking TikTok is. From picture like all the tech that was invented and became mainstream from 2000 to 2020. You got the iPhone, you got email, you got like on-demand video content. Dude, none of that was able to break through and get my grandparents, who are literally technologically illiterate, to use it. But the TikTok video feed is so brain dead and easy to use that even they are hooked onto like fucking scrolling on the Facebook video feed that Like,
I didn't
it's
know that.
unreal.
Yeah, because tons people I know, that's what they do. They go like, "Oh yeah, I'm just on TikTok." Because sometimes you have a conversation with someone like, "Oh, what do you hang out on?" Like, I hang out on Twitter because I'm a weirdo, and that's where all the weirdos have ended up. But other people, they're not really on Facebook as much anymore. It's either, especially if you're a girl, Instagram or TikTok. Instagram or TikTok. TikTok all day. And you know what's so sad is that TikTok even used to be way cooler than it is now. I used to be addicted to TikTok in 2018, 19. TikTok was awesome because it was more normal people and it wasn't gamified by an algorithm yet. It was just people
Yeah.
putting a spin on dances. The girls were hotter. The songs were better. And when there was someone who was famous on TikTok, it wasn't translating to being real world famous in the way it kind of is now. When you're famous on TikTok, you just see them on the For You page a lot more. Then they joke about being on the For You page a lot more. I remember there was one girl on there called Roblox Thotty, coincidentally.
Based.
I'd see her on there all the time. Some girl with fat honkers just wanted a lot of attention, and she was all right to look at. I can still, I'm like being haunted. I'm just like, so I'm recalling D-Day. I can still see these people's faces in my mind, and I can't name them, but I remember them. And TikTok was just so it was so organic then. It's not like that
Yeah.
anymore. Now it's an advertising mechanism in the same way Instagram is too, which is
You know,
such a shame.
I would love to take the high road and say, you know, I don't fuck with TikTok and that kind of like video feed thing at all. But that's not true. I'm hooked on YouTube Shorts, which is no worse than
I do.
TikTok. So it's like
So
I can't help it, you know.
I don't mind clicking a YouTube short here and there, but I've never done a sequence. I've never been like, what's the next short? What's the next short? I'll see one if it like pops up and recommended. But the thing is, Twitter is the same thing. I'm addicted to that in the same way people are addicted to TikTok. I'm addicted to bad takes from people that I hate over and over and over and over. And then the occasional funny meme over and over and over. And there's no annoying social aspect to it where I have to see someone else's life who's way worse than mine, or someone else's life that's way better than mine, or some ex-girlfriend. I don't have to see any of that. It's just
That's
bad
why
and
I
good
can't use
takes and
Instagram.
everything.
That's why I can't use Instagram at all, dude. Because I don't understand how people can be like an Instagram user uh, all the time. It's depressing. Like, you go on there, you follow all these people, these celebrities who just like do not, like, their sole purpose is to like show these highlights of their lives that look so fucking cool in the moment that it just makes you feel depressed. Like, well, what the fuck? My life is like shit, you know? Like, I don't want to do that.
It
You know?
has been, I don't want to, I will say peer reviewed. I won't say academically. I won't say scientifically, but as close as those as you can get, especially from internal Facebook metrics that have been publicized, that those applications are designed to depress you and keep you on the app. What you're describing is by design. And Instagram is that on steroids. It's incredible the way that it's engineered to depress you and keep you engaged with other people while they're also showing the best parts of their life too. But they also feel the same way as you while they're on Instagram. And I'm really not trying to sound, you know, like an all-encompassing, but I'm be like, yeah, they don't even know that. Like, but I'm addicted to it too. We're all here. We're all products of this technology. And yeah, you can find little ways of combating it here and there. But once you're in it and you're really driven by it socially and affected by it in that way, it's really, really hard to find your way out. Because if you're a girl, you're on Instagram automatically. That's their scroll. See, when I scroll, my version of Instagram is seeing dumb shit that people say on our Discords, or playing a game, or like League of Legends or something like that, or on being on Twitter, something, right? Girls, gym, Instagram, then go out. But mostly Instagram. That's not good, dude. That will murder your
scrolling
brain.
through Instagram, like, oh, this person's doing better than me. This person's doing better than me. Oh, I want to go to Taco Bell for some reason. You know, it's just also
I want to go to Taco Bell.
Also, have you seen like these fucking anecdotes of like these kids that Generation Alpha? That's what they call them, the new generation. But these kids are apparently just like failing basic literacy tests because their brains are so rotted from fucking the TikTok feed. You know, have you seen this feed? Like apparently, like these sixth graders. This one teacher was saying, like, yeah, my sixth graders are reading at like a second grade level. Like they're incapable of using like punctuation or any grammar at all.
There's a few things there, but one of them is that's the byproduct of COVID. By the way, that's the byproduct of forcing kids to not go to school for 2 years. They're already 2 years behind on basic school. Do you think a 5-year-old learned a I learned a lot when I was in first grade. 5-year-olds learn a lot in first grade. That's the most affected, impactful part of your life. Okay. When you go through those are the formative years of your life. And if you aren't taught properly in those years, it's going to affect you for a long time. So we're starting to come to head with kids like that. Let's not say first grade, maybe 8th grade, 9th grade. Didn't have the normal social events too that you would have then. So yeah, that ruins them. But then when you compound that with them being on TikTok all day and having phones when they shouldn't have phones, right? When I got my first phone when I was 13, the best thing I could do is play Snake on it, maybe. And it's definitely much different now. We got to be real careful not to tread too hard on this back in my day thing. Like I'm observant of what's going on, but I'm also acknowledging that I have my
this
own
time is different.
Oh yeah, is it? Yeah. Do you think it's the end of the line?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, jokes aside, kinda. I mean, I don't see how much more can you dig at the bottom of the well at this point?
It's a tough one because every generation says the one after them is destroying everything. So
I get that. And like people in the 1800s were saying, like, well, these short novels, they're like the bottom of the barrel because they take like zero attention to read them, and it's like, no, not really. But
I mean, they ended up being right. Look where we're at now. Maybe.
I mean, eventually, if you keep decreasing every generation, eventually there's going to be a bottom, right? Like,
so why is attention span? I don't know if I want to say reductive. Yeah, I mean, why is attention span entropic? Why is the natural state of it over the years to get worse and worse and worse? Is it capitalism?
No,
or is it just the industrial? Is that just the natural way of advertising?
People crave response speed, and I think it's not response speed. They crave like
serotonin release,
instant constructive feedback. You know, like when you
instant gratification.
Not exactly. It's like if you the reason that games are so addicting is that if you do something wrong in a game and then you fuck up, then you find out what you did wrong, and then the next time you're in the same situation, you do the right thing. Instantly, you see the results of you making that right choice, right? So it's like if you apply that to videos, it's like, okay, well, previously I had to read a 400-page book to know if it was really good, versus, okay, well, I can watch a TV show for half an hour and see if that's good, versus, oh, now I can know if something's good if I just scroll it for 5 seconds and see if the video is good or not, you know, on TikTok.
Well, a lot of people get their information from TikTok now. Yeah, they get their news from it as well.
The loop is consecutively getting smaller and smaller each generation. That's why I don't think I'm being facetious when I say it is actually different this time. Like, what, you're going to have like 1 second videos in the future? I don't think so. I think there has to be like a hard limit for how short something can be, right?
This is also, well, there's definitely not going to be a minimum. They'll make it as short as they need to be in order to keep their algorithms working. But I do the same thing with movies. There's so many movies I haven't seen because I just read the summary of them, or maybe a YouTube recap, or someone else talking about the movie, and I say, good enough for me. When instead it used to be, hey, this movie's good. So then you go and see it and you watch it. And that had to do with a lot of other different forms of media. But, you know, the thing I don't get about it is we used to like our media with there was a professionalism to it, but now we're more interested in just seeing other people like us doing things that we can probably do ourselves or talk about them. That I don't understand. It used to be you wanted to see a great actor because they acted well, but now you just watch Billie like ride a skateboard down the street for 7 seconds and then do a Fortnite dance. I don't get what are you getting
all the
out
power
of that?
back then was centralized in the entertainment industry. Back then, if you wanted to make people laugh, you had to be like someone notable. You have to have the right connections and get on the right TV show or the right film. Now you just have to have a TikTok account, upload a funny short, and then you're making people laugh just the same as a $1 million actor, you know?
Well, speaking of that, I don't know why. I've been thinking about it lately, and it's been bothering me. And maybe you have the answer. And us talking about famous people just made it pop into my mind. And famous people who might not be talented. Who knows? Why is Billie Eilish popular? Do you know?
Um, apparently, and this is the industry answer. Apparently, it's because she brought a really game changing dynamic with her songs.
Oh, game changing, all right. I bet. In which room? On which couch? In which room?
Which, no, but the argument is like, you know that one song like I'm the bad guy.
See, I barely know. Oh yeah, I'm make it. Yeah, okay, yeah. Don't
I'm the
make me sing it.
gay guy.
Yeah, that's a good. I'm
But
sure
yeah,
that exists, and we had a
but yeah,
co-host who probably would have found it, but
but her style with that song, they're saying like, oh yeah, that was a good departure from like standard pop, I guess. But the song is not even that good. It's fucking like it's blasé. Like,
she's
you know,
monumentally popular. Like, not on the same level as Taylor Swift, but at least in whatever top 10 most popular worldwide female artists Taylor Swift would be in at number one. Billie Eilish is in there somewhere. And I don't understand it. I don't get where it comes from. It's like,
you know what's funny? Will Smith actually. It, I like to think that Will Smith got the memo from like the Illuminati that they were going to make Billie Eilish really famous in the future, but he leaked the memo too early. So this is like before Billie was even that popular. But people were asking Will Smith at this red carpet event, "Yeah, what music are you listening to?" And then he's like,
I
"Yeah, I
ruined
think
that Billie Eilish.
yeah." He literally said that. He's like, "Yeah, Billie Eilish, she's gonna be really famous in the future. She's game changer and all that." This is like before anyone even knew her. So I think we'll let the thing slip a bit too early on. You know?
Am I supposed to believe that Will Smith, between watching Jada Pinkett masturbate to a gay Tupac, was in his spare time putting on his little headphones and going like, listen to Billie? Like, that is so
Yeah,
ridiculous.
dude. Will Smith like trying to say like he does like deep dives on Spotify. Like, no, you're not doing that.
You're probably not even listening to music. I don't get where that comes from. But yeah, she comes out of nowhere. And it's this new forced kind of grimy, not like new alt rock, kind of sound that just really isn't captivating, especially on a larger scale. Because you think of someone like Lana Del Rey has actual good songs and she's legitimately talented and
Yep.
she makes good music. She's not as popular as Billie Eilish. I don't think so. Billie Eilish is at least on her same level from doing what? I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. And that's when you have to start to believe that there's industry. Who's that white guy that was in the new literally in that new movie that's called White Guys Can't Jump or something?
G-Eazy.
It's not G-Eazy. I already forgot his name. He has kind of an afro. It's called like Jack or something.
Jack Posobiec.
I don't know. I can just Google white men can't jump. White men
Jack
can't
Harlow?
jump. Yeah. What is that? What am I supposed to do with that? I'm supposed to believe that's a naturally grassroots popular person that just grew to prominence and is incredibly talented. I couldn't name a single song. I've never heard a single song that
he had a
done.
breakout song. I know some of his stuff. Yeah.
Okay, Will Smith. Where did you get the letter in the mail or something that finally hit New Zealand?
Listen, I got the email. Expect to see a Taco Bell collab with Jack Harlow soon. So
Jack Harlow, most popular song. What's poppin'?
Yep. That's his breakout song.
That's it.
Yep. You know the song like,
I guess I'll listen to it at some
hey,
point.
bitch, what's poppin'? Brand new whip just hopped in.
See, I've never heard that. Until you said that, I've never heard it. So I don't know what you're talking about. But then, compare someone like him to, I don't know, Post Malone, who is talented. And I mean, at some point you have to get approved by decision makers in the recording industry. But he makes great songs and he deserves to be as popular as he is if there's at least some of his own thought behind what he makes. So it's there. I don't know. I started thinking about it a lot more recently because people were saying my girl Sabrina Carpenter is an industry plant and they're doing everything they can to get her off the ground. They let her tour with Taylor Swift. They're trying to give her the hit song of the summer in Espresso, and it's just
there was a
taking off.
mega viral tweet saying like on Twitter saying like Like this post if you've noticed that Spotify is automatically playing Sabrina Carpenter songs for you, and they got like 305,000 likes, so it's not looking good.
That is, they must just do that. I don't know if it must be nepotism or they show fealty in some way. They say like, all right, we're going to do everything we can because it's so, there must be so much collaboration between brands and producers and venues to be able to get these artists off the ground. And it must be
I mean,
decided
it makes
early at some
sense.
point.
If you're like a record label, why would you spend so much money scouting for talent when you can just mass produce them? You know, you already have like a team of producers and songwriters. All you need is like a face to just like sing it. Really, you know, you don't need like that much talent to make just the standard pop album. You know, it's not like fucking Halsey or Beyonce's writing like game changing lyrics and all that shit. Like you just need a pretty face and a vocal cord to sing it. You know.
Does Billie Eilish have either of those things?
Billie Eilish looks busted, but apparently her vocal cords are game changing. She does, and her dumpster is pretty big as well. So,
is that what they're saying? Yeah, I couldn't. Did Grimes come before Billie Eilish? Because I feel like Grimes.
Dude, that pissed me off so much about the whole like Billie Eilish being hot thing. But, bro, she popped off when she was 17, and like the whole internet was like, "Don't you dare like say she looks hot. She's 17." And then like the minute she turns 18, everyone's like, "Oh my god, she's like the sexiest girl in entertainment." Like, shut the fuck up, dude. She looks also, exactly the same, you know. Like
there was a rant. Don't make me comment on what you're saying. You're saying all of that, not me. But I'll just say, not long after that, she started to wear a lot more revealing clothing, and she did some random article that said, "I want to embrace my femininity, but in a more traditional way." It was like people were kind of scratching their heads on it. The typical people who usually like people like Billie Eilish, but yeah, there were like some people.
Let's go.
Yeah, she might. Miley Cyrus did that for a hot second too, before she just gave herself a mullet and did whatever she's doing now. But she went through the ringer too, but stayed resilient. What can you do? But all right, we're cruising through here. You got another one that I think is interesting, especially because those people that made that new movie called whatever America. What's the one where it's like, what kind of Americans are you?
Oh, Civil War.
Is that from the same people that made The Purge?
No, The Purge is isn't Purge Blumhouse, or am I thinking of?
I don't know.
Else?
I thought maybe it was from the same writer. I don't know where, but maybe it's just similar.
No, Civil War is A24.
Okay, and that's why it's probably a boring movie. But I see your subject is The Purge, so I guess you're trying to have a purge or something.
No, I saw a YouTube short about The Purge, and it's like one of those memes like, all crime is now legal for the next 24 hours. What you doing, right? And then, dude, the replies are, I was cracking up for like a fucking hour. Are they depraved? Straight. No. These replies are like a perfect peek into like the lamest people on the fucking planet, dude. So I've identified 3 types of guys after scrolling through the comments for like an hour. So you got the internet tough guy standard. He's like, the standard comment is, if the purge was legal, it's time to get rid of a few dictators and monopolists.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. I can't
I'm
believe
sure
it.
You on the fucking couch eating Cheetos, you're gonna kill Jeff Bezos, right?
Yeah, and you're gonna have enough stage presence to get everyone together to let's go get this. They're like, what are you talking about? Yeah.
The second guy is the second guy is the wannabe smart guy who thinks he's so fucking intelligent. And I
would repeal the SEC laws or something.
It's not even that smart. He's just saying, if the purge was legal, I would do late tax evasion.
Yeah. Tax invasion would be hilarious. Yeah, I would make this, financial. Yeah, I would make this one illegal transaction. Yeah, exactly.
And then my favorite guy, the third guy, is it's the extremely naive science nerd guy. So, and I swear to God, I saw this comment like 5 separate times from 5 separate people, but all of them said like, if the purge was legal, I would break the laws of physics.
Okay, well that That is funny. I'm about to get on board with that. So.
I love this guy.
Yeah.
It's like some guy that
good.
just recently discovered like what jokes on the internet are, and he's just like slowly discovering that for the
Hey,
first time.
that's the way they used to be. That's the way it used to be out there. It used to be a little bit more innocent, a little more mature. And then now it's just
I got this.
it's just a
I developed this
grinder.
mental image of this guy who's like getting convinced by his wife to be in an open relationship. The wife is like, "Honey, look, there's peer-reviewed studies showing that the orgasm you receive from jacking off to me getting pounded by the next door neighbor is actually greater than the orgasm you get from just fucking me." And then he's like, "Well, she did cite some sources, so there must be something to that."
And I do want her to be happy, right? I do want my wife. Happy wife, happy life, right? So,
if you apply the utilitarian perspective, she does bring some good points.
Dude, and honestly, people with those mindsets, not that exact one that you're talking about, but people who credentialists, people who need sources in every conversation, they infuriate me because there's no point in talking to them. Every single thing you say, every argument that you make, at some point there's an implication that you're just saying it. You're saying it because you believe it, because you think it. But the second they say, "Oh, well, what's the source for that?" It destroys the conversation. It makes it so boring. And you know what the worst part is? Those people pretend that's what they want. That's what they want. That's what they pay attention to, and that's what most of society wants. It's like, well, if we just returned to a factual source-based society, which we never had at any point, by the way. Humans are very like ephemeral creatures who feel what they're doing and act upon.
Also,
impulses.
I love how they love to pretend that just because something is peer-reviewed, it means that it's tamper-proof indefinitely. Like, oh, there's no way that peer-reviewed studies can ever be tampered with at all. Like, really? Are you retarded?
Oh, yeah, and then if you give them anything, they'll just say, well, I don't like the way that they did that study. They didn't have enough sample size for that study. Oh, okay. Never mind. So why are we having this conversation in the first place? What are you trying to tell me? I can't stand that. I absolutely can't stand that. But
okay, and this is I've noticed something else when I saw this meme, and this is not me advocating for what I'm about to say, but dude, if the purge is real, are we just supposed to pretend that rape isn't going to be the number one crime? Like deep down in our hearts, I think we all know in that kind of scenario, rape is going to be like the Usain Bolt of crime, dude. Like, am I wrong?
Well, it won't be at the top of my mind. Okay, so so do you think people are going to do the most immoral thing that they can when?
What do you mean? It's pretty... dude, if the purge is real, I wouldn't put it past anyone to kill someone or rape someone. Like, in that scenario, people, like, imagine some guy that just got swagged on by his boss.
And the guy who invented just imagine the guy who invented the purge says, yes, it's Americans can get out their frustrations and, mug people. And then it's like afterwards, it's like everyone just rapes each other. And he's like, oh,
imagine
maybe the purge wasn't such a good idea.
Yeah, imagine some fucking loser accountant who's just getting swagged on the entire year by his boss. And then the purge comes in and he's like, you know what, this is what you get when you cross an accountant.
But also, if he does that, right? Okay, for instance, rapes his boss. He's got to see her at work on Monday.
yeah.
And they can't acknowledge it. It's like, well, it's legal. So you didn't actually do that to me, and that's it. So they can't do anything. So that could. That
would be a pretty funny dynamic. It's like the boss is like, Johnson, I want those reports by Monday, and then he's just smiling because he knows.
Like, he knows what this weekend is.
He knows. No. Even after that, he's like, oh, okay, I'll get those reports to you, and then she just knows that in his mind he's just replaying the event that happened 2 weeks before.
Oh, you're talking about after that, yeah. What would be your first move?
I would break the laws of physics.
I would stab someone. I would find someone to stab just to drive by. They don't even have to die.
I want to do like some destruction of property. I would love to blow up a building. That would be so cool.
Oh, I would crash some cars, maybe. Yeah, there would be something really nice about that. I don't know how you clean up from. The problem is if the purge were to actually, first off, we are already purge aligned in this country, especially if you live in a major city. It is the purge. That is what San
Yeah,
Francisco
yeah,
is
yeah.
right now. That's already a
Chicago.
test. So I think if the purge happened, it wouldn't look much different from a night in a major city. People, they love to prey on just the immutable natural sin of the white man in these movies, where it's like, oh, but actually this neighbor, in the suburbs, he wants to rape and kill you at the end of and then once he gets the chance to, he will. The truth is everyone will just sit inside and that'll be that. And the people who are already prone to crime, they're just going to go and commit more crimes that they're already committing. There would be no great frustration that would be taken out. When people get frustrated, they go to the shooting range or something. I don't have some great frustration where I need to kill another person or, do anything else. But I don't think it would be a successful.
I think you would participate in the purge.
To be honest with you, I'd be too afraid to go outside because anyone could just shoot me in the head.
That's true. That's true.
I would love to get in a gang shootout or a gang knife fight in the purge, something interesting like that. But there's nothing stopping someone from being posted up on his roof and just popping me in the head the second I walk outside. I don't want that. That's not a fun purge night for me. So maybe I go out in a helmet. That would probably happen on the purge. YouTube shorts. I was raped on a purge night and liked it. No.
You just walk into work on Mondays like limping and shit, like can't sit down properly. Your buddy's like, hey, Moyer, how was Purge weekend? You get snuggled up and cozy and watch Netflix, and you're like, yeah, man, sure.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. Definitely didn't venture outside this year. Not me. Not no way. That couldn't get me out there. Meanwhile, in my head, like, oh my God, when's the next purge night? No, I would love to just drive my car around, crash it, probably stab someone. That'd probably be the extent of what I do. But there would have to be, could there be an elevation rule there should be a rule of some sort of decorum, rules of engagement on purge night. You have
to challenge people to a duel if you want to kill them.
No, it's just they need to see you coming. There you go. You can't kill someone unseen. There should be some. I also love in that movie where it's like, oh wow, the minority freedom fighting team that you thought were the bad guys were the good guys the entire time. Ooh, that's so cool. Imagine that. That's such a cutting rebuke of American culture and where we're going. It's just stupid. I think those movies are done. So
yeah, I mean, I like the concept, but yeah. Anyway, changing gears, we're getting towards the tail end, but I've been workshopping this for a little bit.
You need to get out of the workshop.
It's really experimental, but let me know if you think there's any value in this concept, right? But I'm trying to imagine a society where guys had a body part that universally turned women on, so similar to like how most pairs of boobs in the world would turn on most guys, regardless of who the boobs are attached to. What if guys had that? You might think, well, guys already have that. It's called a penis, but I don't think that counts because,
as we saw earlier,
most women can look at a penis and not get turned on because it's not about that. So I was cracking myself up at thinking like, dude, what if women only had foot fetishes, like where guys' feet was the equivalent of like a woman's breasts, like you just get like fucking like guy Twitch streamers just being like ultra self-conscious about accidentally showing their feet on stream, and then you got like a fucking teenage guy going out to a house party, and then his mom's like yelling at him like,
cover your feet, honey.
No son of mine's gonna go leave the house dressed like a total slut. Cover your fucking feet up. And the kid's just he's got flip-flops or like Crocs on.
No, like thong flip-flops, like with really thin threads on them. That is funny. Unfortunately, it would obliterate the sexual dynamic between men and women.
I would like that attention. I think guys deserve that sort of attention.
No, they don't. It would ruin the sexual dynamic. Women are meant to be looked at and admired, and men are supposed to be loved for being men and being able to be providers and protectors, and that's what attracts women to them, etc. But I'll tell you, there is a body part that's close to that. There's like a little V, like the V on your hips.
I was thinking about
I hear
that.
women
but
really like that part.
that's
of
not
your
really
body,
gender
I've heard.
specific, though, isn't it? Like women can also
No,
have
for
the
some
V.
reason, yeah, but guys don't care about that as much. Women do like that body part a lot. So maybe you should fix it. Maybe you should work on it. You know, maybe you should show it off sometime. There
Work
you
on
go.
my feet or work on the V?
Work on the V. I think your feet are big and luscious enough. So
Thank you.
yeah. And with that being said, I need to get out of here. I need to get out of the Tyson containment chamber. So until the next time, I got to think up a few subjects, or else I'll be subject to this all the time. So I'll talk to you guys later.